Oakley Dokley. Welcome everyone to the NWO podcast. This is Abel Lozen. Joining me as always are my co-host, the co-conspirator CJ.
Hello.
And Barker.
Hola.
This is the NWO. We're trying to take over the world by spreading the weekly pop culture news from across different genres, which include movies, comics, TV shows, or anything that we consider nerd. The NWO podcast, your greatest entertainment since 2017. All right, guys, this is show 129 of the NWO Order. We are now, I don't know what the anniversary for 129 is.
Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles, I like that. Choco Pebbles or Fruity Pebbles?
Fruity.
CJ?
Yeah, fruity, obviously.
Fruity Pebbles?
Duh.
What do you say?
Those are those superior pebbles.
Probably Fruity Pebbles. But man, every once in a while I crave some Choco Pebbles.
So the best liquid on earth is the milk after the Fruity Pebbles cereal.
No, it's after the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's a fact.
No, that's good. That's really good. But it pales in comparison to Fruity Pebbles.
They have coffee creamer now. That's that Cinnamon Toast Crunch, like when you're drinking the cereal. Taste, and it's fucking fantastic.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Alrighty. Is anybody drinking any booze for show 129?
Dustin probably is.
I am enjoying a John Dorian classic, a Nectarini.
Nectarini. I am also drinking booze this time. I am drinking an Able staple, Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Nice.
I've been chugging them down all weekend, so.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. Pabst is underrated. More people need to be on the Pabst train.
Pabst is underrated. I used to there was a liquor store in Wichita that I used to frequent that sold a 6-pack of Tallboy Pabst for $5. You're buying a Tallboy for less than $1. That's bananas.
That is a hell of a deal, yeah.
Alrighty, let's see. All right, let's get into the poll questions from last week, or 2 weeks ago at this point. Fuck 'em, Barker edition. 100% said yes.
Thanks, guys.
Sigh. Let's do this again. PS4 or Xbox? Xbox One with the 66% of the vote. Would you risk your life to go see Tenet? No. 62% said yes. 37.5% said no. And actually, that one had quite a few votes from across the interweb. So that's a good indication that people would die to go see Tenet. Should all of Barker's opinions be invalidated? 75% said yes.
Fine.
It kind of begs the question though: were they ever validated in the first place?
They are. They always are.
I don't think so.
Well, fuck yourself.
75% of the people want you to go fuck yourself. Count me among them.
Let's see. Do you like the idea of Batman: Death in the Family, that animated movie where you kind of pick your own adventures? And it's not 3 different endings; it's 7 different endings, from what I heard.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You just made it 4 times more worse.
Well, 66% of the audience said no, they're not excited.
What?
Yeah, that sucks.
Nah, I'm excited for it. So.
That's awful. No, that's sorry.
And then what did you think of Harley Quinn season 2? 80% said great, and 20% said good. 0 votes on meh or bad. So it's good stuff.
All right, I'll take that.
All right. Whitney's still mad at us, I think, and he hasn't said anything, so we'll just get right into the show. Andres couldn't make it to the show because he is too busy watching all the anime in the world, And now that Crunchyroll's on HBO Max, that's how he's spending his time, is watching a bunch of anime on Crunchyroll on HBO Max. But he did send me a piece of the most important piece of news in the anime world this weekend. The Andres Loza Memorial Anime Minute. A new report has gone live confirming the cancellation of another Act H production. It turns out the stage play adaptation, the hit manga, has been shuttered in the aftermath of Tatsuya Matsuki's arrest. The company behind the Act H play made the call earlier this morning and apologized to any fans who were disappointed by the decision. This is the latest cancellation to impact Act H after Shonen Jump axed the hit manga from its pages for good.
What are we gonna ever do without it?
Mm-hmm. Thank God, Andres. Thank God we have Andres to fill us in. I would have never known.
This is gonna send reverberations through the annals of anime forever.
Yeah.
Where was CNN covering this?
They should definitely stop. They should definitely stop talking about the post office and talk about what is this called? Ass butt or Act Age? There you go.
Well, they should have hired Andres years ago. I don't.
Yeah. I'm confused as well.
He's on the beat.
Andres is on the beat. Okay.
Is Andres on the beat? Full question.
Full question. Let's see. We have missed a couple weeks of news, so there's no limit to it or whatever. But if you have any ideas on it or any thoughts, let me know. This weekend, John Wick 5 was announced before John. Oh, no.
That's just funny. That's funny.
What?
That John Wick 5 is announced.
Yeah, John Wick 5 has been confirmed by Lionsgate, the movie who's in charge of producing these movies, and it will be shot back to back with 4. So they're kind of doing Keanu Reeves is kind of used to this because they shot Matrix 2 and 3 back to back. I can't think. Oh, they shot all the Lord of the Rings back to back. So it's something that's been done before. But yes, they're shooting John Wick 4 and 5 back to back. And John Wick 4 is slated to hit movie theaters in 2022, Memorial Day weekend. And they're hoping to have John Wick 5 by 2023, so that next year, early in 2023. So what do you got? Are you guys excited? I think I know the answer, the obvious answer. And then B, is it too much John Wick?
What?
Is there such a thing?
I'm posing the question out there for you guys.
No.
That's a stupid question.
It's a ridiculous question.
All right, are you guys excited?
How would you even ask that? That's blasphemy.
It'll be cool to see how they because each one is kind of up the ante a little bit in terms of, action and coolness. It'll be cool to see how they keep trying to push the envelope a little bit.
Right.
That'll be a fun ride. Yeah, I'm here for it. It doesn't have the same kind of implications or attractions, I guess, as like the Matrix movies, because the story is so ingrained in the Matrix movies that it's kind of annoying that they're actually making another one for me. It's such a huge part of it, but really, the story is completely secondary in John Wick. They can just say, "Fuck it, just give this guy a gun and fucking A-button headshot the whole movie, and it's awesome." And let's find new cool ways to do that, and that's awesome. I'll take 19 movies of that. It's fantastic.
When do you think?
Never get old.
When do you think? Do you ever think they could jump the shark on John Wick's, or are you just waiting for them to ramp up and get more ridiculous as they go?
Yeah. Awesome.
Oh, go ahead, CJ.
Okay. If it is possible that John Wick has jumped the shark or will jump the shark, Fast and Furious will jump the shark way before then. So we will know as soon as Fast and Furious jumps the shark, we'll have an indication.
Yeah.
But if that hasn't jumped the shark yet, there's no such thing as John Wick jumping the shark.
No, I think they're not mutually exclusive. I absolutely think you can jump the shark and still be in watchable movies. the Fast and Furious franchise jumped the shark like movie 3, movie 4. They're about to go to
Great.
space in this last movie, I hear. So
That's
it's
awesome.
yeah. I mean, it's awesome, but they definitely jumped the shark. I do think there could be too much of a good thing. Like you're not supposed to eat ice cream every day. And I don't know if John Wick 10 will be as appealing as John Wick 1 or 2 or 3, but they're making 5. So
I've had ice cream twice today. Okay, I don't. It's fine.
you've eaten ice cream twice today?
Don't you? Doesn't everyone?
No, I ate it once
No.
yesterday.
Oh,
I can't even remember the last time I ate ice cream.
a couple hours ago for me.
Parker,
was awesome.
what do you think?
I just I like it. And CJ's right. I feel like the story is. I mean, there's so much of the story that they can tell. They can go down. I mean, at least 50 different roads. I mean, like doing like the history of like the blood oath or like the Continental. They could go almost everywhere to that point. I just really wish to see the first 3 seconds of John Wick 4 when they announced John Wick 8.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, I'm
Like
bored.
not even like the opening credits, and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, we're releasing John Wick 10."
In a world where there isn't enough John Wick.
Are you not excited? Is that not?
No,
make you
it's exciting, but I guess I don't know. I would have to see because I think in movies of trilogies, right? And I don't know. So they're already
But even
cutting their chickens before they hatch.
Well, maybe they'll make 6.
yeah, I feel like if even if John Wick 4 is bad, it's not a bad thing. I mean, you have 3 of the greatest movies of all time, and 4 is not that great. I mean, they can still make 5 amazing.
Okay, but there's no indication that they will make a bad movie.
Oh no, definitely not. But like, even if 4 is like the worst of the movies, it can't even be that bad. So
It would still make a fuck ton of movie, and that's honestly what they're aiming for. So
Yeah, I'm all for it.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. No, just posing the question up for you. All right. I don't know if you guys remember a couple weeks ago we talked about there were rumors that they were going to announce a Suicide Squad by Rocksteady Games. Well, it officially came out, and after I put this story together, they actually named it, and it's called Kill the Justice League. It's going to be exciting. I think they officially announced a Suicide game a Suicide Squad game. And does that? I guess this is more for CJ because he plays more video games, and he's played all the Arkham games, and it's the same creative team and everything like that. Are you interested in a Suicide Squad game now that we kind of know the parameters of the game is going to be you trying to kill the Justice League?
I don't know. Not really. Mostly because I don't know. I'm wary of anything Suicide Squad, to be honest. I still have that. Like, that first movie fucked me up. It turned me off school. That was my first real introduction to the Suicide Squad, and I've never really recovered, to be honest with you.
Well, how good was the animated movie we talked about a couple days or a few weeks ago?
Well, I liked it, but I didn't think I would. So I kind of liked it, like, despite myself. Which is how, if it were to happen with the video game, that's how it would happen. I would go into it thinking I would hate it, and then it would have to be like stellar, and then I would really like it. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, I'm all for the Suicide Squad. So,
I mean, maybe it's a good. I don't know. Rocksteady is a good company. They have a really good track record. But I just, my reservation lies with the Suicide Squad portion of it, which is the whole game. So the characters, you know what? It depends on what characters they really have, I guess. Like, it'd be cool to play as Harley Quinn. It'd be cool to play as like Deadshot.
Harley Quinn for sure is gonna be in the game, and so is Deadshot. I think. Who else? I think.
Those
I think it, and we'll talk about this here in a little bit because there's actually some The Suicide Squad movie news, and I think it might line up with that because they always like to kind of put everything together. But you might see like some Bronze Tiger, you might see some Captain Boomerang and stuff like that, and it'd be cool if for different missions you have different squad members doing different things to accomplish those missions.
And it depends. The fact if they base on, like, generally speaking, games based on movies or movies based on games are kind of terrible. And I don't know how well. I don't know. Well, I'm reserved. We'll have to see. What do you think? Or is that?
No, I'm super duper excited.
I guess. I don't know. You know what? If you get a chance to like fight Superman and stuff like that, that'd be kind of cool, I guess.
And that was I don't think it's based off the movies, but I think that is that's the premise of the Suicide Squad anyways, is to go out on missions that they might not make it out of, hence Suicide Squad.
They're not really supposed to be against the Justice League, though. Not necessarily.
No, but this one mission might be something happened to Superman, he turned evil or whatever. And, I mean, that was the premise to the movie, and maybe we get a better version of that story.
That would be cool. You play it, and then you tell me if I should play it. Is that fair?
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay. Parker, any thoughts on that?
I'm okay with it. Like CJ said, Rocksteady has made some pretty good, cool games like the Arkham series. So I'm all for it.
Cool.
Excellent.
All right. Who was a fan of the X-Men animated series, the 90s?
I liked them.
Weren't you watching them, Parker? Or did you stop?
Yeah. I stopped for a little bit, yeah. It gets weird because, like, some episodes are, like, out of order. And, like, I looked into it, and it was just because, like, the animation, like, when they took it to wherever it was in Asia and everything, that they animated, like, the wrong series or the wrong episode. So then they just were like, fuck it. So, like, you had, like, the Dark Phoenix, and then they were fighting somebody else, and then they went back to the Dark Phoenix. It's really weird if you look into it.
Well, the reason I bring it up is because they are thinking about bringing it back on Disney+. So this would be the time to try to get back into it. Last week, during a virtual Wizard World panel, X-Men the Animated Series producer and director Larry Houston addressed the rumors that the beloved 90s cartoon would receive a revival decades later. We've had talks with Disney, but that's about it. We've had a conversation, and it's up to them to make the decision, but we've let them know that we're all available for whatever they want to do in the future. So I think that's pretty cool.
I'm down.
Have you ever seen it, CJ?
No, I don't. It doesn't really sound like something I'd be into, to be honest.
Really? You never watched it? You never watched it growing up?
No.
Have you ever
I just remember, like, Saturday mornings just hearing, like, the theme song.
Mm-hmm.
Just gets you all pumped.
It does.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one episode except for when Dustin's watching it. Yeah, I think I watched an episode with him, I think. Yeah, I don't think it's my flavor. I was watching, while you guys were watching that, I was watching, like, Batman animated series and playing Super Nintendo and just not watching. What channel was it even on? I don't even know.
I mean, we were doing that too, but we.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, I guess I did it better than you guys. I don't know.
Apparently not.
Yeah, obviously not because we did more.
Yeah, your childhood sounds like it sucked.
I was better at video games, so I played them longer, obviously.
Yeah. You suck at video games.
I'm pretty good, actually. I'm getting pretty proud of my Overwatch-ness. I'm getting pretty good.
Overwatchness?
Of course, I went onto I played my first competitive match the other day, and before it was over, I was getting, like, death threats over over the messenger because I suck. But that's a whole nother world. But I'm getting pretty good. I'm getting good enough to play competitive. That's what I'm telling you. It's getting there.
You gotta get your death threats up if you're gonna be any good in the gaming industry, kid.
Right.
Basically, there's probably some truth to that. I gotta earn my stripes.
Yeah. You're not a real gamer. You're not a real gamer until you've swatted somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Or been swatted.
Yeah.
But no, the only iteration in which I will be excited for X-Men would be in the MCU. That's about it. And even that is like a stretch, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, CJ's that one weird guy. He's like, I don't want the X-Men. I forgot about that.
I didn't, because I'm kind of over it with the X-Men. I'm sorry. I honestly, I never even was super into it in the first place. They just made the first couple movies were just super really good. When the first couple movies came out, like, X-Men, the Bass movie, and the next two, which is obviously a great movie, I was never an X-Men fan even before that. Those movies made me like the X-Men. And ever since then, the quality obviously has been not really up to that standard. And so there's nothing really that pulled me back in yet. To that extent, anyway, at least. There's been a couple good movies, like First Class is obviously awesome. Days of Future Past is awesome. But other than that, I'm okay without them, to be honest.
Lame. All right.
I'm okay in that.
Whack.
I'm alone in that sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
CJ, whack. His taste in comic book movies, whack. Me, I'm cool as fuck. Have you ever seen that video?
No.
You ever seen that, CJ? Is this dude talking shit on this other guy, and he's like, the way he dresses, whack. The way he can't even do it. He says his very specific skating move, whack. The way he smiles and is not even listening, whack. Me, I'm dope as shit.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. A couple weeks ago, we talked about them. Go for it.
I said, send it to me.
When I find it, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Did
you watch that?
Did I watch what?
That video I sent you?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
I will.
It's like 10 seconds long.
Okay. I'll watch it. I'll watch it immediately after this. I'll negate everything else in my life, and I'll watch it for those 10 seconds.
That's all I've ever wanted. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Hey, CJ.
Yeah.
Do you love the NWO?
Yeah.
Do you like supporting things you love by giving them an amount of money so small that you wouldn't notice or feel leaving your bank account?
Yeah.
Then you'd be perfect to donate to the NWO cause, which will help us create more content and become a better podcast. Is that something you'd like to do?
Yeah.
Then visit us on patreon.com/NoRolled and give us a monthly donation to help us out. Or if you want, give us a one-time donation. Please go to our PayPal at nerdworldorder2@gmail.com.
Yeah?
Yeah, and remember folks, obey the NWO.
Yeah.
Let's see, a couple weeks ago we talked about how they're going to spin off the Batman movie already into a Gotham City PD movie, TV show on HBO Max. Well, it looks like they're going to do the same thing for Catwoman, and it looks like it's going to be a prequel as to how she became Catwoman. Does that interest you guys at all?
Kind of.
Not really. I don't know why I'm so blasé about everything today, but yeah, not really.
I mean, it might turn out great, but I mean, just the initial premise doesn't sound too enticing.
It really doesn't.
All right. Not even if it has, not even if it's the same Catwoman from the movie or anything.
If they get Anne Hathaway, yeah, that would actually be cool.
Well, it's not going to be Anne Hathaway. It's going to be Zoe Kravitz.
Oh, nah. Give me Anne Hathaway, then we'll talk. I fucking love Anne Hathaway though, so I'm a little biased. No, I don't know. That just sounds like more not Batman. That's what that sounds like. And it's like, can we put out a good Batman before we put out a good Catwoman? Is that too much to fucking ask? It's like they spent so long not putting out good Spider-Man that they thought they had to make a Venom. Or it's like the same idea as that. or DC couldn't put out any good fucking movies, so they decided to put out a movie with two superheroes. So they decided to put out a movie with all shitty villains. It's like it was. Does that sound like a good idea to you? Make a Catwoman series? Is anyone pining for Catwoman series?
I think it's a good idea to try to make a good Batman movie first. Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah.
Let's if they can't even do anything with the fucking A1+ characters they have, and I'm not even saying like Catwoman's a bad character. Why are we digging into the bottom of the barrel when they can't even use the shit like on top of the barrel properly?
Yeah.
Like,
I'd rather see a Riddler spinoff before I see a Catwoman spinoff.
No, you gotta keep it like anti-hero first before you can go full villain.
I'd rather see like a Batman movie that doesn't suck, or a Batman spinoff that is awful. Why am I so negative today? I don't know. I'm sorry. Everything sucks.
You're very like. Do you just hate everything today? Like,
I think so.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Like, can you just hate breathing for a while?
Maybe. I've actually been like, I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but I've been like meditating-ish, and now I hate regular breathing. So I only like,
deep breathing,
controlled diaphragm breathing.
Yeah, I meditate.
So yeah, I hate breathing.
Okay, I mean, there's one way to fix that.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop completely.
Alrighty, moving on. They announced the next DC animated movie, and it's called Batman: Soul of the Dragon. It's going to be set in the 1970s, and they also announced the cast of Batman will be voiced by David Giantoli. Michael J. White will be Bronze Tiger. Let's see. Lady Shiva will be Kelly Hu. Mark Dacascos, Richard Dragon, and there's going to be Bruce Lee in it as well. So it's not. I don't think it's in continuity with anything else, obviously, as we know. But yeah, they're already announcing more and more animated movies, which is pretty cool.
Oh, it's animated?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would actually that actually does sound pretty cool. Like an animated kung fu movie, basically.
Yeah.
That sounds cool. With Bronze Tiger, I'm down for that.
With Bronze Tiger, Batman, and Bruce Lee.
Yeah, that sounds all right.
Wasn't he Bronze Tiger in Hell to Pay?
Yep.
I'm down.
And
actually, that sounds like the first cool thing we've talked about so far, actually.
And I'm sharing my screen now. I see the they released one little snippet of the movie, and let me see if you guys can see it. Can you see it?
Not yet.
No. Yes.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
So yeah, this Bronze Tiger there, Batman, Bruce Lee, and then that's Lady Shiva. And as we all know, Lady Shiva is Ra's al Ghul's second in command. So pretty cool. A DC animated movie with Batman set in the 1970s with Bruce Lee. It's fucking dope.
Yeah. And Kung Fu.
And Kung Fu. Who doesn't like a good Kung Fu movie?
I love a good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
All right, a couple of quick tidbits. The Rock buys the XFL for $15 million, which in rich people money, that's like $20 for us. I feel like that's really cheap. Yeah, really. MacGruber's coming back to the Peacock streaming service, which is fucking dope because I love that movie. And then let's see. Are you guys big fans of the Tron movies?
No.
Have you ever seen them?
I don't think I've ever seen the whole thing.
Have you seen the first one or second one?
I saw the first one.
Maybe when I was little. I don't remember, to be honest.
And the Tron they made like in 2010. Have you seen that one?
I heard it was really good.
That's what I heard too. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because they've officially announced that they're making a 3. And it's coming out. They don't know yet, but Jared Leto is in it. And we probably know how we all feel about Jared Leto in this place, in this house.
Yeah.
As long as he's not a superhero or a supervillain or something, I'm cool with it.
Well, he is, because he's a bigger name, and he's not going to be like background character number 4.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. It depends. I want to have. Abel, have you ever seen the Tron movies?
No.
None of them?
No.
Oh, maybe we should watch them. Maybe they're good.
Maybe that should be one of the things we should do, because we are definitely running out of things to talk about. So.
Well, if fucking COVID would get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Right. Captain Marvel 2 announced their director, Candyman's Nia DaCosta. She's going to direct the sequel. I mean, she's the first African-American woman to direct a Marvel movie, so that's pretty cool.
Nice. That's cool.
Let's see.
Is that like down the line, like 2023?
Yes, 2023, 2024, somewhere around there. The Suicide Squad released their title treatment, and then the characters wished James Gunn a happy birthday, and they basically said happy birthday in their characters. So this is actually the first time they've announced who they are. And some characters to know are Idris Elba is going to be. There was rumors that he was going to replace Will Smith as Deadshot. No, now it's pretty confirmed that he's going to be Bronze Tiger. So that's what we were talking about earlier.
All right.
Good.
Harley Quinn is back, obviously. Margot Robbie, and then Pete Davidson's character wasn't clear, but John Cena, they did a thing with him. So yeah, and they did I'll share the screen again, because they did the title sequence for it, and it looks very Pulp Fiction-y, very pulp title treatment, and let me see if I can share it with you guys. No, it's not popping up, but it's fine. You guys can look it up. But yeah, it looks like it might be like a pulp movie, like something like that. So does that at all interest you guys?
I think this podcast and the student athletes know my opinion on Pulp Fiction, so I'm just gonna hand it over to CJ.
Well, we share opinions. Yeah, that sounds awesome. If it's anything, I actually don't know what pulp really means, but if it's anything like Pulp Fiction, yeah, that sounds fucking awesome. Just on principle, just principle alone. What do they mean when they say a movie is pulp? I don't know what that means.
It means it's a throwback to the old style of how they used to make movies, and that's what they used to call like a B movie, right? Like an old B movie, and looks very.
So it's just like the style in which it's filmed and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's
okay.
Yeah, it's hard to describe, kind of, but
so
yeah, it's just the feel and look of it.
Something like Sin City would.
Yes, like Suicide Squad, the animated movie we watched last week. That's pulp.
Well, Sin City is more noir, but same shit. Okay, I get you. Cool. Yeah, that sounds cool, actually. Hello?
Shh, nobody say anything to CJ.
Fucked it up.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, you can hear me now. I thought I pushed the button.
But a piece of shit. Let's see. Okay, and then I left the 2 biggest pieces of news towards the end. Mulan. There was a battle about when they were going to release it, because they pushed it back a couple times already. So Disney decided straight up they're going to release it on the Disney Plus app, but you do have to pay for it. So if you already have the Disney Plus app, you have access to it, but you need to pay an extra $30 to access it. So a lot of people are saying that this could be game changing, because it depends on how many people will buy it and pay for it, and it also depends on how many people are willing to split that cost with other people. So if they're inviting people over and it's like, hey, like $5 a pop, we can all watch Mulan, and they're, it's just a different things. The pandemic is going to affect the way the movie industry is done. So for the purpose of this is A, do you think it's a good idea? And B, are you going to buy Mulan and watch it?
No and no.
Okay, explain yourself.
Well, I say that from a biased perspective because I love movie theaters, and they're basically boning the movie theaters out of a huge movie that they were really counting on. And I see the post of that French movie theater guy who was beating the shit out of the movie poster that he spent a bunch of money on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I agree with him.
So you're not going to watch it in solidarity with movie theaters?
I probably wasn't going to watch it well, maybe if it was in the theater, maybe. But no, I'm probably not going to watch it. I wasn't really that interested in the first place. I like the animated movie. I'm not really into this live action remake stuff. I actually watched most of Aladdin the other day. Well, not the other day. It was like the other month, actually. But I don't know what I said the other day. But it wasn't very good. I still haven't seen the live action Lion King, but I'm imagining I heard you guys when you did that show on it. I don't think I'm into it. And this is just like the fact that they're fucking the movie theaters over just kind of helps make my decision for me, really, to be honest. Makes it easier.
All right, Barker, what do you think?
No and no.
And tell me why.
So they're making me buy a movie on a streaming service that I'm already paying for. It seems like it's a really big money grab for that. I mean, and I agree with CJ. The live action movies have not been up to par. They're kind of striking out with this, and I just don't feel with the animated movie was great. Eddie Murphy as the dragon, I think, made that movie, and you don't have that. You don't really have a Mulan movie, in my opinion. So.
Okay, now let me pose this question for you. If you don't prefer this model of paying an extra $30 on a streaming service, would you prefer the model that we talked about last show that Bill and Ted are doing, and they're releasing same-day video on demand and movie theater? Is that something that more appeals to you, to your sensibilities?
I like the model where you go to a different building and you pay $7 and you get a really big TV that plays said movie. I don't know. I like that.
To play devil's advocate, though, we live in a town where we're very fortunate with our movie theater, and if we're taking ourselves or a family, it won't cost us an arm and a leg. Where there's in bigger cities where $30 is the tip of the iceberg of what they spend to take the kids and take everybody. You're pushing $80-$90 to take everybody to the movie theater. So in bigger cities where tickets are $15 a pop, this is a more viable option, I think, and that's obviously who they're hoping buys this movie, and they're hoping that the kids are wanting to watch this movie over and over again, because Trolls World Tour did a bunch of money because kids wanted to keep watching it again. I don't know how many people are going to want to watch Mulan over and over again, the live action version anyway. So, would you prefer then the version where you had the option of movie theater or video on demand on the same day?
I would prefer that, yeah, because you're giving the theaters a piece at least, right? In that scenario, I would go watch it in the theater. It's just they're having a hard time right now, and I want to do everything we can to support them. Taking it away from something they've been counting on, all year in their worst time of need is not the way to do it. I would much prefer that way. I would much prefer only theater release, but I understand that's difficult right now. But yeah, all other things being equal, yeah, I would much prefer a choice at least even the choice to go watch it in the theater.
Right.
So let me pose this question to both of you fucks. They're saying that New Mutants is going to be released August 28th, and they haven't changed that. are we gonna go see New Mutants?
Yes.
I'm down. Hell yeah.
So as long as
Haven't
you
we
take,
been waiting 10 years to watch something?
so as long as you take what you're saying, as long as we take the precautions, you guys would be comfortable to go to the movie theater and watch it.
Definitely.
Okay.
What if?
I mean, they just,
What if then the movie
just-
theater is not taking the precautions and they're filling up the movie theater?
You gotta die sometime.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. You know.
I feel like movie theaters can do it, and I think they should.
That's all. I mean, as long as we, a couple seats in between everybody, wear your mask,
Well,
do
and
what you can.
the reason I'm asking is because I went to go see whenever they were showing Empire Strikes Back, but legitimately there were 6 people in that theater where they were showing that movie, so it wasn't a huge concern. And I wore my mask when I was at the concession stand, all that stuff. But maybe New Mutants will give an excuse to people just to want to come out, and go watch the movie. And there have been movies coming out like the Tax Collector with Shia LaBeouf. That came out in movie theaters. It didn't do well at all because people, they didn't want to go out to the movie theater. They're releasing that Russell Crowe movie this weekend or this upcoming weekend. So, it's
the one where he's like a truck driver and
he has mega road rage or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're releasing that movie this weekend. So it's just I don't know. It's just I guess we're just gonna have to see and because if this does well, I can tell you right now that Wonder Woman and Black Widow are probably released at home, and we pay an extra $30 for them. Okay, that changes things. Let's say this was Black Widow. Would you pay the $30 then? And it's on Disney Plus.
$30. $30.
Yes, it's $29.99.
To buy it?
Yeah, but you keep it forever. You keep it forever.
But only on streaming?
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that. No.
Not even Black Widow.
No.
What about Wonder Woman?
No.
Okay.
Even less than Black Widow.
Barker.
I'm just more of a. If I'm paying that much money, I'm holding a DVD in my hands or a Blu-ray disc in my hand. Like, no, that's just no. All it takes is their server to crash and you're out. No, I don't like it.
All right, Barker.
I don't trust the cloud. I don't like any of that bullshit. That's
all you need to say next. All you need to say next is to get off my lawn, and you're a complete curmudgeon now.
Well, you know what? Sometimes I like to keep my grass green, and these kids come up with their sneakers and their Yeezys, and they jack up my dandelions.
What about you, Barker?
I almost spit out my nectarini. I agree with CJ. Not the old crotchety grandpa kind, but I just feel like $30 is way too much for it.
So not even Black Widow and not even Wonder Woman.
I'll wait for it to come out on DVD and then I'll buy it for $30.
What if what if it's like, hey guys, come over. We'll have the proper precautions. Us 3. If we each pitch $10 towards the movie, let's all watch it here. Would you do it then?
Yes, because I want to see your new dog.
Oh yeah.
And I miss Luna.
I'd rather just go to the theater. I like going to the theater. If I'm paying $10, I want to go to the theater.
Let's say that's not the option. It's not going to be the option for Mulan. So let's say this is a big success. They do it for Black Widow, and now it's hey, like I'll rent or buy a projector and we can put it on the garage screen.
I mean, I might have to for the purposes of this podcast, but if it was just up to me, if I'm just a consumer, no, I'm not doing it.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to know. Alrighty.
Like I'm saying, obviously I would watch it just so we can do it. But yeah, if I'm just CJ, or Steve, Jones, at 42nd Street. No, I'm not doing it.
Steve Jones on 42nd Street.
Yeah.
If there is a student athlete named Steve Jones that lives on 44 or 42nd Street, we're sorry that we're slandering your name right now.
Yeah, you know what? No, we're in solidarity with Steve Jones. He's not doing it either. We're tired of the bullshit.
He's like, barely, CJ.
All right.
We're tired of
no, that was an interesting conversation. I'm glad. Yeah, the pandemic's going to change a lot of things, and it just depends on how the money is what speaks, right? Is what's going to change things. So, if this is successful, that the only thing we can learn moving forward is how it's going to change the way we watch movies. All right. The other big piece of news is DC as a company had major layoffs. They fired laid off more than 600 people, and they're saying that it was a complete bloodbath. They fired people through the in the comic side of DC Comics. They fired people from the DC Universe side of things, and people actually got really nervous about the DC Universe's future when you go to the official Twitter and Facebook accounts of Titans and Harley Quinn. It used to say DC Universe's Harley Quinn and Titans. Now it just says DC's Harley Quinn and Titans. And actually, you can't buy a year subscription anymore. You can only go month to month. So what a lot of people are speculating now then is that they are they're going to fold the DC Universe into the HBO Max app, and I don't know how that's going to go pricing wise, but they're going to announce that next week at the Fandom. So get ready for that.
Lame.
Yeah, and the reason they're doing all these layoffs is AT&T owns Warner Brothers now, who owns DC Comics, and they're folding everything within each other, and they're trying to synergize everything. So yeah, they fired a bunch of people. People were actually scared there for a second that they were going to fold DC entirely, but that's not the case. The case is they're going to move forward. But they cut a bunch of corners, and people were scared there for a while. They fired. I follow a bunch of creators on Twitter, and they were putting basically like obituaries of their career at DC, and I was like, what's going on? And yeah, sure enough, they got laid off, and a lot of good artists and a lot of good writers got fired from DC Comics, and they're pulling back on a lot of the comics. I think they said they cut 25% of all their comic titles. So that's pretty scary to think. So that's just every year the comic industry is dying, according to comic fans. So when news like this happens, it's like, oh, for sure, we're not going to have comics here very long. And then not only that, but just like at the beginning of the year, people were saying that Disney were going to cut off Marvel altogether, printing Marvel comics. So yeah, it's a scary time for comic book fans right now. Even though 2019 was the most comic books that were sold in the 2000s or something like that, and sales were up like 25%. But I don't know, maybe these big mega corporations like Disney and AT&T don't see them as viable profits.
Lame.
That's bad. Anytime you hear about a merger or
Synergy,
a big company being bought out or anything like that, it's bad news.
it is
Every single time in history. It's always bad news for the consumer. The consumer being us right now, obviously. It sounds like they're going to take away our ability to. The best thing about the DC app is the ability to read comics like instantly, basically.
Yeah.
They have a huge fucking back catalog of a ton of comic series, and now it sounds like they're taking away the ability to write comics, which is it's not looking good for comics right now, which is bad.
Yeah, and to your point of accessibility, we went to Colorado last week, and I'll bring this up when we talk about what we're reading, but I'm reading an old an old Justice League run that came out a couple years ago, Drowned Earth, and I was easily able to go to the DC app and read all the tie-ins while I was in the car and Jasmine was driving, and I was able to get a full aspect of the story. And I was like, oh, cool. Now that I've read this, we're going to a comic shop. Let me buy the ones I just read on the app. And that's exactly what I did. I was able to find them, another part of my collection. You know, that's good to go. And that sucks because Marvel still does have a Marvel Unlimited app. So I wonder if they're going to keep that for the comic books, because it would be a shame to lose an entire catalog of comic books just because you want to have your successful TV shows over to HBO Max, which you could still do. But I would also want to keep the comics. And I wonder then if they take the comics to HBO Max.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I guess at that point, I really wouldn't have any issues with it, really. I love HBO Max. My issue isn't with HBO Max. Yeah, I get that would actually resolve my issue. Yeah. I hope they do that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's just me thinking out loud. But yeah, I have no idea. But the rumors are that it's you know, we're getting pretty close to.
Well, if we make enough noise, they'll do that. So, the future becomes an issue because, yes, they have this entire back catalog of great stories, but that's where the movies get these stories, the comics. Like that, to do away with them, I think would be short-sighted.
I agree. Barker, any last words?
Before you die, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. No, it's not looking good.
Just keep going on that Excel analysis train, Dustin. You've been killing it all day.
That's why we pay the big bucks.
I know. That's what I do.
All right.
You guys are getting paid?
It's like that meme. You know, the We're the Miller meme. Let's see. Okay, before we move into the main event of the evening, we do have some Florida news.
Wait,
what? You have some news?
Well, I mean, I think so. It's important to me.
Okay, go for it.
So obviously I've been getting into Overwatch a lot, and yeah, I'm probably gonna be the annoying Overwatch guy for a while. So I'm sorry about that. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. But there's been a lot of problems over at Blizzard apparently, who owns Overwatch. So somebody released a I don't know what you would call it. I guess like a ledger, I suppose, of all the employees' salaries. And the people who make Overwatch is a fucking great game. It's an incredible game. And you can tell that the people who made it, just like the attention to detail and stuff in that game is pretty crazy. Lately, I've been just going around and just admiring different artworks and stuff in it. Because like before you go into a match, you can go to like a quick play where it's just there's no goals or anything. You just kind of mess around. I've been using that time to just go admire things. And there's a lot of talented people who work on that. You can tell, obviously. But it's like you can tell they have no financial support though anymore. Like, or very little anyway. They announced Overwatch 2 a year ago, and there hasn't been a single update on it in a year, which is that's not like par for the course. That's not normal. Bad. And somebody released this, like all these employee salaries and everything. The CEO was in the million. I think it was like four and some change million annual salary, and some of these other animators and stuff like that were in like the 20,000s. Just unlivable, just ridiculousness. And it's like the saddest fucking thing. I mean, there are more sad things, but it sucks for people like me who were really looking forward to a great game. And I don't know if these are related, but are you guys familiar with Overwatch at all? Anything?
I've heard of it, yes.
Okay, so that's good. So we're off to a good start. Okay, so there's a lot of like lore in it. There's about an hour and a half's worth, about a whole movie's worth almost of these like little animated shorts that are about 10 minutes long that they tell each, well, not each character, but they tell different stories that combine different characters. It gives a lot of lore, a lot of story, a lot of background stuff about the Overwatch team and all that. So a lot of writing and animation and stuff goes into it, right? So two top writers for all that stuff have both quit in the last 2 months, and that's not good for the future of Overwatch. I'm kind of nervous about it, and I picked a terrible time to get into one of the best games ever. I'd love it, but obviously my timing is awful, and so I'm kind of scared for the future and what this means. So their head writer Michael Chu quit after 20 years with Blizzard. He was the head writer on all things Overwatch. And the lady who was in charge right after that, Alyssa Wong, she was their number 2, who became their number 1. She just quit last week. And that's not good. So I don't know what to make of it, really. We'll just have to hope and see. But things aren't looking great. Excuse me. So that was all I had.
Aren't they also the owners of or the creators of shit?
Are you talking about Blizzard specifically?
Yeah.
So they do Hearthstone, they do World of Warcraft,
World
they
of
do
Warcraft.
Diablo.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, they have Diablo. They have
And
a lot.
Diablo.
They have a lot.
And
So-
actually, what I thought you were gonna bring up is the fact that they were brought up. You know, the whole TikTok thing right now, and they're gonna ban it. They brought up Blizzard as a possibility because they are also owned by a Chinese group, and so people were freaking out about that too. It probably won't happen. It won't be likely, but people did freak out for a second.
So Blizzard's parent company is actually Activision. Just bought them not that long ago, and Activision is kind of infamous in the same way that kind of like EA is. That it's just you can tell just on the quality of games that it's just money. That's it. That's the whole thing. It's just cutting corners and microtransactions and
The same
much
game
money can
over
we
and over
squeeze
again for the last 10 years.
Yeah, how much money can we possibly squeeze out of these people for a shitty game? And it's infuriating, especially if people we it's like we're not gonna have any more quality anything except for like indie developers, and like indie developers have hurdles themselves. Like it could be incredible story. It usually is. They usually are great stories, but the animation costs a lot of money, and they don't always have the resources. And it's sad to see a company that has those resources not be interested in using them to make a good product. And that's it's just a sad state of affairs, and for Activision and Blizzard, I think.
Okay.
So yeah.
That does stink. Any thoughts on that, Barker?
What?
I take that as a no. All right, let's move on. Do you have any?
Can I do a quick snippet?
Move on.
Yeah, do your snippet.
I'll make it real quick and not like the soliloquy that was CJ. So Disney Channel is actually going to be introducing their first main character that is bisexual.
Oh, I
it's
did.
gonna be
I heard about that.
series.
Yeah.
In the animated series, The Owl House. I've been watching it lately because it has he voices one of the cast members on The Owl House, but he was the creator of Gravity Falls, which is also a great animated movie. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that we're Disney Channel is still anti-Semitic, but you know, they're moving forward into, you know, the LGBT.
Yeah, no, for sure. Walt Disney was very anti-Semitic. That's pretty famously known, and but they are definitely leading the way with things like that. So that's cool. Okay, we are moving on into our main part of the show, but before we do have some Florida news. Central Florida man driving a lawnmower on highway arrested on DUI charge. Let's see. So we are pushing through to the end of our DC animated movie universe tour. And this week we're going to hit two movies because there's no point in splitting them up. It is Death of Superman and then Reign of Superman. And those movies came out almost a year, or not a year apart, like a few months apart. But let's see. Both of these movies were directed by Sam Liu, which he is up to 5. I think he has one more. He directed a bunch of them. This is based on, obviously, The Death of Superman, which is Superman Volume 2, number 74, number 75, and then The Reign of Superman, which was originally released in comic book form in June through October of 1993. The release dates of these movies were July 24th of 2018 and then January 29th of 2019. These are the 12th and 13th movie of the 16 movies that are in this universe. So we're 3 movies away from getting done. The voice acting in this is Jerry O'Connell is Superman Clark Kent, Rebecca Romaine, who is Jerry O'Connell's wife. We've talked about that before. Rainn Wilson is Lex Luthor, Rosario Dawson as Wonder Woman, Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern. Let's see, Jason O'Mara as Bruce Wayne, and those are really the big actors that play in this. So, CJ, why don't you give us a quick synopsis on the arc that is The Death of Superman?
Well, so so Superman, he's wearing. Well, I don't know why I started there. Okay, there's a thing that's happening. There's some guys who are in these like suits, and they're shooting all these like weird guns and stuff, and it's all like super high techy and stuff. And then Superman comes in, and he's like, "Fuck that!" And he beats them. I can't remember what they're called. They're called something. The Jackals or something. I can't remember. But anyway. He saves the day, obviously, of course, and then he hooks up with Lois in a broom closet. And then he was like, the Superman turn you on? He was like, and no, that was kind of funny to me. Because he is Superman, she doesn't know that. And then some lady goes on the news and she's like making fun of Lois about how Clark Kent is super like shady, basically, and then she meets his parents, and then Superman's like, "Oh, what should I tell her? Oh, I don't know. Oh, whatever." And then he like tells her that he's Superman.
Whatever.
And then he gets called away because I guess there's like a whole another part of this. A huge rock has landed on Earth. And it has this like mutoid man looking thing. But he's very strong. Like real strong, like super strong. And he kills a shitload of people. So many people die in this movie, by the way. Holy shit. Nobody can stop it. And then so instead of everybody tag teaming everything, they all the Justice League go in one at a time, hilariously, and get the shit beat out of them all at once. And I'm giving away too much at this point, and so so just so we don't spoil anything, hijinks ensue.
Okay, Barker, we'll start with you, Barker. What are your overall feelings and thoughts on this 2-arc movie of Superman?
So with The Death of Superman, I'm on the fence for. Great voice casting. I think Rainn Wilson will forever be known as Dwight for some people, but for me, I think it's Lex Luthor. I think he is perfect for that role. And then Jerry O'Connell, Rosario Dawson, Nathan Fillion's another one that's kind of cemented himself as a Green Lantern. Story-wise, it was really good. There wasn't really I hated much about it, but I just felt like they could have done a little bit better for the ending.
Wait, Ava, are you asking me to do both movies? Are you want to do both movies at once?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. It's fine. Here, I'll do it for you. Big Rock asshole kills Superman. The second movie, 4 imposters come back, try to be Superman, but they're not Superman. And Superman comes back with a mullet and a black suit, and then a really emo astronaut is a robot, and then he dies.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's way more efficient.
Yeah. All right. What about you, CJ? What do you think of these two movies?
I would like to separate them more because I really love one, and one is just okay. The Death of Superman is surprisingly one of the best movies in the DCAU. And the Reign of Superman it's okay.
Why do you feel that way?
I tried to split mine up too, so that's why I did Death first. But I can do Reign here in a bit.
Why do I think that?
Yeah.
So the Death of Superman pulled some emotions out of me, which is very like I've always hated Superman my entire life until I watched this movie. This is like the turning point for me a long time ago. Whenever we did this the first time, hilariously, a year and a half ago or whenever we did it, it made me love Superman, which I would have never. If you'd asked me before that, is that possible? I would have told you no. But this like humanizes him in a really cool way. It makes you love him. Like he's really there for the people. He's really that guy. Yeah, it's fun to make fun of the Boy Scout, right? But he is actually there when you need him to be. Like he cares about people. He's actually a badass. And all those things that annoy you about him or used to annoy me about him are reasons to love him. And it made me really, really sad at the end of the Death of Superman. And just based on just that it was able to do that, yeah, I love that movie. If that was all it did was just do that for me, it's already a great movie. But it actually has a lot of cool action scenes, a lot of great character development, obviously in Superman himself. Yeah, I really like that movie. And the other one, it's okay. Like, I don't know. I think it's a lot of this. It misses a lot of nuance that I think would make it better. Like, it needs to be to tell that story properly. You really need to flesh out like the characters a little more, I think. And they don't really have the room to do that, unfortunately. Like you could probably make 2 movies out of that movie by itself, I think, maybe, or at least a longer movie. And I don't feel like the characters get as fleshed out as we would like. I think I would like. So it just becomes okay until the very end when Superman goes back. Sorry for the novel.
No, it's fine. I tend to agree with you. I like the Death of Superman better, but I think it's because of that reason, because of the emotion of it all. And I'm in the same boat as you. I used to not like Superman. Now I'm all about Superman. The characterization in this is the best.
Because of this movie,
huh?
Because of this movie, right?
This movie did have to do something with it, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the best characterization of Superman that they have done in this universe so far. I remember watching the other movies, and I brought it up too, how I wasn't a big fan of quippy, kind of an asshole Superman when he isn't that. Like, he's the Boy Scout, and they played it pretty well here. And if they play the Clark Kent part and the Superman part really well, and which to me goes to the bigger question that I have about this entire thing, and that is, but before we get there, because that's where I really want to concentrate this conversation. What is one thing that you liked or did, or what's another thing that you liked either from one of the movies or both? You can pick one from each movie.
I like the internal struggle of Superman. The balance. He's trying to find a balance that he has so far been incapable of finding between his personal life, or even having one, and mixing that with his professional life, I guess you'd say, or his superhero life. And that is a cool struggle to watch. And it's like, when you think of Superman, he doesn't have issues, he doesn't have problems, he's got to figure it out. Not necessarily. He's got his own internal battles, and it was cool to get a first-hand view of that. And then to see him have trouble physically, well, that's unheard of. That was crazy. So both of those things combined, I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Parker?
I would say in Death, I really liked the ending with Doomsday. I think it did a better job than the live action version that they did. And in Rain, I liked the plot twist. That was actually, that came out of nowhere. I really liked that part where it's not really Superman, it's Hank, and then just figuring out that Superboy is half, Clark Kent, half Lex Luthor. And then figuring out that the one with the visor is actually kind of like Superman's bodyguard, So I like that part too. And then also the ending to that to Rain was really good for me too.
I guess, sorry, I should add something from Rain, which I didn't. I think it's cool that Superman can never die. I like that. Yeah. Even if he dies, he doesn't die, which is awesome.
Yeah. I really liked, I know it's Superboy, really. I really liked him in this. I liked the arrogance and the cockiness. Even when, like, at that part where he was trying to hit on Lois Lane. Just like, how old are you? Like, I'm old enough.
He probably doesn't even know how old he is,
I'm
which
back.
is hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, you were gone?
Left?
All right. What is I had to go bring my notes. I thought I had them with me. What is one thing that that you guys kind of either disliked in general of the whole thing, or of each movie? Well, actually, let me do my likes. After rewatching the movie, if you want to watch, or let me catch my breath. If you want to originally hear, if you want to hear my what?
We have the technology to push pause and let you not die.
Okay. All right.
I didn't know why we didn't do it. I had to throw in filler right there for like the longest time.
If you want to hear my original thoughts on this, I'll put it in the show notes because we've already done this show kind of. But rewatching it, I really did like the characterization of Superman because it's almost night and day of how they treat Superman. Like I mentioned, it's before he was kind of like a snarky, kind of like willing to kill you and that kind of thing. And there's a very specific part in Death of Superman where Lois tells him, like, you can't hold back because if you hold back, we're going to die. And I really like that moment, which is a segue to the second part that I really liked. And that was Lois Lane, voiced by Rebecca Romijn. That was such a good, and obviously they're married in real life, so they have that chemistry, and it shows, I think, in these movies. And you can tell at the very beginning of this movie too that she does have feelings for Clark Kent. So when he takes off and he leaves a little note there that says, "My second secret is that I love you," like you get that from her. And I really enjoyed that from these movies, and I really enjoyed her role overall in the first and the second movie, that she wasn't like a damsel in distress, which a lot of these movies can fall prey to, but it really wasn't the case in these, and I really like that.
I agree with you.
I agree.
All right. What is something then that you either disliked as a whole or altogether in the two movies? We'll start with CJ.
not to. I promise I don't just try to take whatever Dustin says and do the opposite thing. I promise I don't try to do that.
But
I don't really care. I don't really care for Lex Luthor in these movies.
I actually, I'm gonna cut you off there real quick because another thing that I noticed is like the first time I watched it, I did not like him at all either. But it grew on me the second time around, and I like Rainn Wilson as Lex Luthor.
So yeah, the voice is kind of. I have the same thing because I used to not like Rainn Wilson as. No, I like Rainn Wilson obviously, but it's like he just didn't fit for me. Kind of like Jason O'Mara, like he's fine, but it just doesn't fit. But I guess I kind of got over that, but I still don't like the characterization of him. Like Lex, he says a lot of dumb things for being a really smart fucking guy, and that's not how I think of him. Like he says a lot of emotional things, and that just like doesn't track for me. Like I can't think of any specific examples necessarily, but like when he's going through and like he's got that room full of scientists, and he calls them all fools. Like why the fuck did you like? That's dumb. I don't know. It just didn't. A smart person wouldn't do that, and Lex Luthor is smart.
Yeah, he's a smart person, but also he likes to feel like he is the smartest person in the room, so that's why he does that. He's like, oh, somebody that finally gets this theory. Well, but it's not you. Like he's an asshole. You know, he's a rich asshole. So that's why he does those kind of things.
That's weird to me. I don't know. You're right. Probably that's not how I think of Lex Luthor. And maybe the fault is with me. Maybe I'm supposed to think of him that way. But I always thought of him as more like the cold, calculating kind of type, instead of like the reactionary, like hothead. I guess. I don't know. So just kind of it's weird to me a little bit.
Barker, what's one thing you disliked or you would change?
I guess it's not really like a dislike, and it's not really a change. It's just maybe in Death of Superman, a little bit more fight sequences, and then in Reign, do a little bit more of the four-way battle of the Supermans. I know we had that first initial one at LexCorp and everything like that, but I just really wanted them to pit off to see who was actually like the better of the four. So.
Yeah, who was your favorite Superman or Supermen? Not counting the original.
Eradicator.
Eradicator's dope.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. I like Superboy. I like his arrogance, his cockiness. You know.
Hey, did you
just like that.
Go for it.
Well, I like his concept of like I've always liked this. They have that. We've talked about this before too. They have that true north of here's a line. If you cross it, you're bad. If you don't, you're good. I like the concept of that. Like that's cool. Like it's so definite, and I don't know, it's cool. Even if you don't agree with where he puts his line, I just like that in a character, and Eradicator definitely has that.
Right.
So I like that.
All right. Is there anything else that you guys took notes of that you guys want to talk about specifically about either movie?
Yes. Superman's costume is dope as hell in Death of Superman.
I don't like it. It's not my favorite.
I love it. I love the sleeves. I love the color of it. I love just everything about it, honestly.
Well, I'm looking at it right now. I have the poster. That's the one he's wearing. It's all right. I do like the thumb part, but yeah, doesn't the costume go around his thumbs, or am I thinking of a different costume?
I don't think it does. No.
Okay, never mind then. But I don't like the collar. I don't like the collar on it. I don't know.
I like the collar too.
No, I'm not a big fan of it.
Turtleneck or whatever, almost.
Kind of. Yeah,
I like that.
I see you shaking your head, Barker. What do you think?
I didn't like the costume. I like the black one when he comes back. I think that one's pretty dope. And the mullet.
what do you guys
I
think
know a lot
of?
of people make fun of the mullet, but I like the mullet.
I love the mullet. Do you like the mullet, CJ?
No. Like, it's just, I don't know. Why would he have a mullet? That makes no sense. He dies, so he gets a mullet.
Oh, his hair grows. I mean,
I guess. Okay. Well, I mean, if his hair just grows like that, I guess. But that's wow. Yeah, I suppose.
What about
most
the
people hair grow like that, you know?
what about the black Superman costume?
Dope. So dope.
I like it, but I don't like it as much as the blue one. That's my favorite Superman costume, I think. The one he had in the beginning of Death. Or all throughout Death, yeah. I love it. To the point that I brought it up in the things we like. So, yeah, I love it.
Anything else that comes to mind?
I don't know. That's
One question I had, and maybe Abel, you can answer that, or maybe it's just going to be an unknown mystery. Like when they were talking with Superboy about like the others and how he was like leaps and bounds like better. Why did they keep those in the tanks?
That's a good question.
That guy.
Yeah, but for
why didn't they use them? What's the question? Like, why didn't they use them?
No, not. But why are they there? Like, so LexCorp spends what millions of dollars to keep these rejects in these pods to keep them alive. I would think like if you're a corporation, you're trying to, do that, you just kill them off. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I'm just looking too much into it, but
they're there to conveniently kill that guy when they need to.
I guess so. I guess that's what a corporation does. They just keep 10 fucking pods of rejects.
It is funny because it really doesn't seem like Lex Luthor like contemplated the consequences of that. Now he just has monsters running around loose in his lab, which is funny. So like you think like in 2 weeks he's got to go like clear the monster infestation that he himself caused. That's funny to me.
I just want to meet Lex Luthor's like accountant, like just to run all those numbers on that shit. Just
like,
must be just
fuck. What?
Numbing.
He bought another clone. God damn it.
Well, unfortunately for you, she's probably dead due to all the monsters he let out of the cage.
Yeah.
Hey, we spent $40 billion on apocalyptic tech distribution for a charity? We get to write that off? Is that a write-off?
And now he's got another build-up organ to get rid of all of them. Like, it's, yeah.
That's just
kind of ridiculous.
I don't know. Abel, could you answer that for me? Because it just doesn't make sense.
I have no idea why.
Okay, so it's just an unknown.
Logistically, I don't have any idea why they keep the reject clones. No, I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, so my biggest beef with this whole thing.
You mean to tell me you're not doing the books for LexCorp?
I'm not.
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm not.
Full question: would you like to be Lex Luthor's accountant?
Fuck no.
Better question: does Abel look like Lex Luthor's accountant? Because he does.
Especially with it's the glasses, huh?
No, you look like the accountant for the guy that makes the Blowflicks.
The Bowflex?
Yeah.
The hell's Bowflex? Is it the backwards hat?
Yeah, and the tank top.
Yeah, and the tank top.
Okay, so my question that I'm going to pose on you is more of not necessarily an existential question, but maybe the direction that they're leading Superman isn't maybe the way that it needs to be going. So what I'm going to ask you guys is, not that I had an issue with these movies in general, but I do have an issue with the fact that this is correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first solo Superman movie in the DC animated movie universe, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What story did they use?
Death of Superman?
Yes. Okay. So in the DC live action universe, they introduce Superman, then they introduce Batman, and then what's the story that they immediately go to?
Death of Superman?
Yes. This isn't the first animated adaptation of Death of Superman. This is actually, there's Superman Doomsday, where they kind of put both movies into one, and that's the first Superman adaptation. So where you guys where you guys can probably see where I'm going with this is it played out? Are we doing this too much? I mean, this is the second time we're doing this movie. Granted, we are doing this tour during through the DC animated movie universe, yes. But do you think it's a good thing, or you think it's a bad thing that we're constantly going back to the death of Superman for such a character that has a lot of rich stories and rich characters and stuff like that, that we're constantly doing a death of Superman because the people that are running these things think that the only appealing or interesting story for Superman is killing him?
Well, I kind of think we kind of dug our own grave with that one. So a lot of people, us included, obviously, didn't like Superman, and a lot of the reason was he was like too good and too powerful, and this story brings him home. Like it humbles him, and the powers that be have decided that that's what we need to like Superman. And for me, it works. And for you, it obviously sounds like it did something. So I wouldn't want to do it again, but I think it's been pretty effective so far, I guess. It was certainly effective here, so I'm not too concerned about it. No,
would you be then concerned if, let's say, they reboot the whole live action thing again? Henry Cavill's gone. They move forward with Robert Pattinson's story, and then it's like they bring in another Superman, and then the first story or the second story off the bat is Death of Superman already again.
That would potentially annoy me, yeah, because it would be nice to see something else. I just don't think we've reached that point yet. I guess the danger could be there if they did it again, but it would be nice to see some other stories. Like I was thinking, it's nice to get away from the Teen Titans actually and get back to a Justice League movie, because it's been all up to this point for the last few weeks. It's been Justice League.
Question, Abel. I think it's yes and no. Yes, because we need to start implementing more Superman storylines. I feel like the guy's been around since what, 1936?
Yes.
So we almost got a century of storylines. Pick and choose. But at the same time, this story has to be told.
Hold on. Think of another Superman story.
Red Sun.
Nah, that doesn't count. That's a one-off. I'm in the continuity. Think of a Superman story that you're missing that you'd like to see.
Let me see. Superman Year One is pretty cool.
I feel like I'm making my point.
I'm giving you Superman Year One. Let's see. Any story, honestly. Any story with Zod, which and I will give credit to the live action. They started with Zod instead of Death, which is cool. Let's see. You could do a proper and it doesn't have to be based from the comics. They can be based off of the characters because obviously it's not as rich as Batman's Rogues Gallery, but he also has very interesting bad guys. He has Lex Luthor. He has Zod, he has Parasite, he has all these guys that they could do movies on, and they're just not. They just keep going back to Doomsday and killing him. That's that's my opinion, anyways.
Well, I think just my overall point is that they aren't doing these movies because they're hard to find. It's hard to find the stories as rich as this one. This is probably the one that people want to play with.
But like you said, CJ, like this was technically, a Justice League movie, so you could still implement a Superman story into kind of like a Justice League kind of style, and vice versa. But back to what I was saying, you have to do Death of Superman because this is one of the richest stories. To CJ's point, as much as I don't want to give him that credit, because of the struggle between trying to be Clark Kent and trying to be Superman. figuring out like you have to choose, you know, and just the whole storyline itself is just so good that you have to do it. Although, you know, it has been what between Dawn of Justice and this movie probably a year apart, right? Year, maybe two.
So then, so I guess what I'm saying is, every universe that they do, you're expecting a death of Superman, correct?
Yeah, but you have to like span it out a little bit farther than what they've been doing.
Oh, yeah, I would like to see more Superman that wasn't just him dying. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
If that's what you're asking, yeah.
Do you think it's a cop out then that they, whoever they are, the mysterious they use it not as a cop out, because I don't think it is, but they think that the most interesting story to tell about Superman is him dying, because he's such a difficult character to write for, because he has all these powers. He has all, you know, nobody can really beat him, but really they keep telling the story to kind of humanize him in a way that maybe another story doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they correctly assume that a lot of people don't like him because it's too easy for him, and they have to have a point where they make it hard for him. And I mean, maybe there are other ways to do that we haven't just been successful with yet, but I don't know what they are, and doesn't sound like either of you two chuckle fucks know either. So maybe they're doing the right thing.
I think a Superman Year One story would be dope. I like that. Let's see. What things from, obviously we're gonna get a Snyder cut from or a Justice League Snyder cut. What elements from this, because Reign of Superman is kind of in that movie, as we saw from the original Justice League that was released in the movie theaters a couple years ago. What are some elements from this that you would like to hopefully see in the Snyder cut version of the revival of Superman?
The mullet and the black suit.
Absolutely. That's my number one thing that I put that on the list. Number one thing is mullet and black suit.
I want a cool sleeved turtleneck blue suit. I think that'd be cool. It's a cool looking suit. I don't know why you guys have beef with it. It looks awesome. It looks like it looks like those Under Armour shirts, like the long sleeve ones.
Yeah.
I love those. I think that's probably why I like it, actually.
Not that I don't have beef with it. I just think there's better ones.
Yeah.
Nah. It looks like he's wearing Under Armour, which yeah, I like that. That's cool.
And also watching this gave me an idea. Do you guys want to watch Steel, the Shaq movie from 1990 whatever? Because that's what that's based off of. You know that, right? John Henry Irons. That's Steel. Yeah.
I love that movie. I would definitely.
I haven't seen that movie since I was a kid. I couldn't tell you any specific detail besides the fact that Shaq's in that movie.
I love how the sledgehammer turns into a gun.
So are you guys down to watch that movie?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
I'm down. Okay.
This is the first I've ever heard of it.
You never heard of Steel?
Wow. Okay.
No.
It's a great movie with Shaq.
What are some other some lasting some parting words, I should say, of these movies, and basically kind of where we're going from here till we're basically reaching the home stretch on these movies.
So one thing we have left out is that this is, as good as these movies are, they are certainly a precursor because Darkseid is coming back again. So we left out the dark side aspect of this whole thing. I am interested to see where the story goes. Abel betrayed the rest of us and watched it already by stabbing us in the back with an apocalypse sword.
I did.
But neither Dustin or I have seen it, and I'm very interested in watching it.
You guys are in for a ride, man. No,
you watched it too?
No, he's agreeing with you that I'm an asshole.
Oh, Dustin, did you watch the Apocalypse Dark?
I'm just fucking with you. I haven't yet.
You dick.
But
so
yeah,
we only
this is
have one horrible betrayer in our midst. That's good.
Yeah.
This is definitely the second time that Apocalypse tried to find a way to take over Earth because he took over Hank Henshaw's.
Darkseid.
What did I say?
Apocalypse, which is where he's from.
Yeah, sorry, Darkseid, as he's controlling Hank Henshaw. So, yeah, all right. What are your overall rankings on the movie or ratings? Sorry, ratings.
I'm gonna give Death of Superman Kitty Cities, and I'm gonna give Reign of Superman a tit.
Barker?
I'm giving Death titties, and I'm giving Reign kitties titties.
Okay, I am giving Death kitties titties, Reign just the tit as well. So yeah, and actually, I completely forgot. I typed these out. There are other examples of Death of Superman. So they were going to make a 1993 movie directed by Tim Burton that was going to be in the Batman universe with Nick Cage. I don't know if you guys have ever seen pictures of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that movie was supposed to be about the Death of Superman as well. Let's see, and BVS.
I just can't see Nick Cage and Superman. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's funny though. And then there was actually
but it never did come out.
No, it never came out.
Oh, there you go.
And actually, I watched on the DC Universe, I watched an old Super Friends episode from 1985 entitled Death of Superman. So this trope has been a thing forever. And yeah, it just, maybe they can switch it up a little bit. All right, question. I have two questions of the show.
They need you to go write great Superman stories. That's what they need.
I can tell you.
I mean,
we're
really right now.
You write Superman you write Superman in today's through today's lens, and he is an illegal immigrant that fights for social justices. It's super easy. I just gave you a story.
Abel, be the change you want to see in the world. Write that story.
I just gave you a story right there. DC, I know you're listening. Take that story. Okay, a question to the show. I have two for you guys. What, do you think that the Death of Superman is overused? And which one, that's the first question of the show. And the second question of the show is, which one did you like better, Death of Superman or Reign of Superman? And I'll put this on the poll questions for you guys to answer. Next week, I changed things up a little bit because a bunch of news is going to come out next week from the DC fandom. So I'm trying to catch that news so we can talk about it because a lot of exciting things. Rumors are that they're going to announce season 3 of Harley Quinn, what they're going to do with the upcoming movies. We might get a trailer for the Batman, just a bunch of things. So I think we should talk about that. And the DC movie we're going to talk about is Batman Hush. So there you go.
Fuck yeah.
What are some recommendations? You didn't do that show with us, did you, Barker?
Hush?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then. All right, what are some recommendations that you guys are reading, writing, listening to that you want to tell the student athletes about?
I'm going to recommend an album that just came out yesterday, I believe, or on Friday rather. It's by a band. It's the I don't know how they're not very popular because they're the heaviest band known to man, probably. They're the heaviest band I've ever heard, and I've heard a lot of heavy music. But they're from Denver. They're called Primitive Man, and the album is called Immersion. It's fucking great, but it's also incredibly heavy. So if you don't dive headfirst, dip your toe, but definitely check it out.
All right, Barker.
Really like it a lot.
So in celebration of DC Fandom coming next week, Toonami, which it does a lot of anime. I know Andres will be into this a lot, but from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, Sunday morning, technically, they're going to be doing a lot of DC movies. The one that they're doing now is Dark Knight Part 2, and then next week is Gotham Knight. So
I've never seen that. I want to see that, so I might check it out.
I just saw it, the commercial right now, and it looks really good. I really want to watch that. So if you're awake at that time, I would say watch both movies.
Cool. We will definitely do that. What I'm recommending is, I kind of brought it up earlier in the show. I am reading some of my backed up comic book stacks finally, and I'm reading an old storyline from the newer Justice League. It runs from Justice League 11 to Justice League 13, but with a lot of tie-in issues, and it's called Justice League Drowned Earth, and it's about these old intergalactic sea gods that are trying to take over Earth because Poseidon did them wrong, so they drown the entire Earth. But not only that, if the water touches you at any point, you turn into these like horrible fish monsters. It's been really cool, and I really enjoy Aquaman stories because I feel Aquaman's pushed to the background a lot of times, and when he has forefront stories, where he's the forefront in a story, they're pretty good. I like it, and yeah, it deals with Black Manta and a lot of his and Ocean Master and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a really good comic book series and run, and I'm enjoying it so far.
Neat.
All right.
That's cool.
Yeah, if you guys have any suggestions or comments, let us know on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. You can find us personally on Facebook and Twitter. Sorry.
I'm at CJ Mathay.
At Barker375.
At
That's
Saint
the Twitter, by the way. So even if you follow me, you won't know.
Yeah, at Saint_Ava45.
You know how many things tag Dustin? Like 12 things. He never replies or anything. I'm offended.
I don't have time. When do I got time?
Stop licking booty
You're
hole.
pushing forward a false narrative that you check your Twitter enough to know that people follow you. That bothers me.
I do.
Let's see. You can find us, show location, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, Libsyn, Stitcher, Apple Podcast. Give us a review. You can do it in app. Tell your friends. We would really appreciate it. Tell your friends about the show. We have a good time. You can buy some merch, buy some t-shirts. I think the store has a sale right now. Go ahead and go get you an NWO shirt. Parker has one on right now. CJ still hasn't bought his because he's a huge piece of shit. And then let's see. You can watch us on YouTube. So if you prefer to see kind of like a little, it's still just a podcast and it's not video form, but it has like a play down it and you can watch it. We also have another podcast, Abel and CJ's Friday Top 5. Make sure to listen to that as well. It's on the same stream, so you can go ahead and listen to that as well, or same feed, excuse me. Donate on Patreon.
It doesn't have me in it.
No, it doesn't. I should change the show to Abel and CJ, not Barker's Friday Top 5. Donate some money on Patreon. I would really, really appreciate that. Or the show would appreciate that. It'll allow us to get some more equipment and make the show better. And yeah, we would appreciate that as well. If you want to do a one-time donation, what I call our tip jar, you can do it through PayPal, nerdworldorder2@gmail.com. I would also really appreciate that. But I think that's it. Do you guys have anything else?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a question.
All right.
Did you turn your hat around solely because we made fun of you for your backwards hat?
No. That's 100% honest.
Why? Please explain your reasoning for turning your hat around.
Because as soon as I log off with you fucks, I am going on a walk with the dogs and Jasmine and Izzy. So that's why.
No, thanks for being a responsible dog owner, actually. That's
Yeah.
good. Okay, bye.
Okay. You, Barker, nothing?
We out.
All right. Remember, guys, obey the NWO.
Obey.